So at the end of the year in 18, wasn't a very good year for us. It was definitely tough. We went to Colorado for the last series, and I was like, man, this could be it, But at that time, I talked to Scott, and I was like, I want to be there. Like, that's where I want to be. That's where I want to play. Like, you look at all the best guys in the league, like, in years past, have stayed with the team their whole career. Like, it's really cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's something that you look at and you're like looking at Jeter, you're looking at Rip, like you're looking at Trout now, like guys that are staying with their team for their whole career, like, is awesome. And I think it's really sad that players aren't able to do that. Just like a Mookie Betts, man. Like, and I know, sorry, this crushes you, but like, I mean, but you know what I'm saying? Like, that as a fan, like, you're sitting there going, like, you kind of understand why they did it, but also to the fact of that, like, are they going to sign him back next year? Like, should they? Yes, they should. But like, are they actually going to do it? They got 4 prospects for him or whatever it was, So when I was going through it, I sat there we were at the trade deadline, and they were talking about, I was talking to Scott, and they were like, Oakland possibly, like Indians possibly, Houston's probably the number one that you could go to. But, at the time I was like, I would love to try to go do that. I just got done with the Derby. I just got done with everything. Like, I was feeling really good at that point. If they came up to me and they offered me and I didn't accept it, which I wouldn't have at that time because I was already so close to free agency. Like, right. That's everybody's desire, to get to free agency, of course, or just get paid what you're worth. Mm-hmm. And so they offered me. I had like $90 million in like drop back money. So it was like, you're going to get paid until you're 80 years old. And I was like, I don't want that. That's not something that I wanted. I didn't know until after the fact that they had a handshake deal with Houston at the time, that they were like, hey, yeah, like, we're good. Like, we're going to go. And I really wish they would have came up to me and talked to me about it, because if they would have, I would have been like, guys, like, what kind of just happened with Aroldis Chapman? Like, they just got Gleyber Torres with the freaking Yankees, who's an absolute stud. Mm-hmm. Why not do that? Why mm-hmm. not? We're out of it. Like, we have no chance. Like, you just sent Murphy away. You just sent all these guys away. You're thrown in the towel. I will come out and say, like, whatever you guys want to make the organization look good, I don't care. Say that you guys got 4 freaking prospects, 2 pitchers, a catcher, like, whoever you guys got. And if you guys are going to try to sign me back that next year, I'm totally for that. Like, I'll have no bad blood. I'll have no disrespect to you guys. You just made your organization better for the next whatever years, and you possibly signed me back. But on the other hand, like, I knew, like, they had Juan Soto coming up, like they had Victor Robles coming up. They were only have to pay him, $520 million or $520,000. Mm-hmm. And we were always a pitcher away. And so I knew that Soto was going to come in and he was going to be really, really good. So they weren't afraid of kind of like losing me. They had Rendon still, so they were fine. So I respected that. I was fine with that. But I wish they would have came out to me and been like, hey, like, we're going to give you a chance to go. If we sign you back next year, awesome. Like, but at least we got 4 prospects for you, and we're going to be really good.
Oh,
so
this sucks to hear, man. This sucks to hear, because because I love those stories you're talking about, the Jeters, the Bigios, the Bagwells.
But like, that's what I wanted. The whole offseason, guys, like, and for real, like, I mean, I sat there with my wife and said, babe, we're going back. I'm going back to DC. If they offer me anything close to, like, I want real money though. Like, sure. I don't want deferred money.
Right.
Like, and I wanted them to understand that. If they would have deferred a little bit of it, I've been fine with that. Like, if they wanted to defer like a little bit in the front 3 or 4 years, I would have been fine, because that means we can go out and get a Corbin and we're good. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't have been upset with that at all, but I wasn't able to. It's hard as a player to talk to them about that, because I have Scott, I have an agent, like, right. They're going back and forth. So as a player, it's hard to say that. But Scott knew. Scott didn't have any problem with me wanting to go back to DC, but he kind of put out every scenario that they could. And so, like, when they offered me what they did with the deferred money, I was kind of like, well, crap, man. Like, now what? Like, right. Now I'm going to look terrible. I'm going to look like a bad person, because of course, like, that's a lot of money. Like, I'm not going to say like, I didn't not respect the offer. Like, I understood it, but I just didn't like the deferred money.
No, that's the thing, is there's bigger things at play. And that's where I think players take a knock, very undeservedly so, is there is still a business aspect to this. And regardless of what level of finances we're talking about. It's all comparatively speaking. That's what I try to keep in perspective for people, comparatively speaking. So don't apply this man's scenario to your scenario, because you're saying yes, we're all saying, and that take yourself out of that. That's why I said it's kind of sad to hear, because I can tell, we all know what kind of, like, you're a ball player, man. You love the game. You appreciate the history. You understand what it, optically, to have number 34 on the same jersey for the entirety of a career, what that means. You get all that. But at the same time, there are decisions that have to be made, because, as you said, getting paid when you're 80. Look, I'm probably checking out somewhere around 55, 60. I don't know that I'm seeing paydays around the 80-year mark.
At least mentally, yes.
Yeah, well, that's
like, that's not fair to me. It's not fair to my family.
To your family, yeah.
To the way that I played, throughout my whole career. Like,
yep.
I've been waiting for this,
Yes.
So I mean, you play your whole life to hopefully be able to get your free agency and get to that point. So we got into the off season. The day before, 2 days before Christmas, the 23rd, I flew down to Palm Springs and met with the Nationals, with Mr. and Mrs. Lerner, in their home. That was the only meeting that I took outside of Vegas. So I knew I needed to take this meeting. Like, I said to Kayla, my wife, I said, babe, like, I got to take this meeting. Like, if I want to go back to this team, like, I have to understand, like, they have to understand I want to be there. Like, I want to do this. I want to get it done. And I thought we had a pretty good meeting. And actually, I thought we had a really good meeting. And I walked out of there. I said, Scott, get it done. Like, I know you will. Like, if they are willing to do this, like, get it done. And, we didn't really talk the first couple months of the offseason very much. We kind of just let it play out a little bit, waiting until the World Series, of course. And I got back an offer, man, and it hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all I'm gonna say. Like, it just hurt.
Yeah.
And so we kind of just turned the page onto the new year. Once they signed Corbin, and I said this in the offseason, I knew the Phillies, like, were up and coming. Like, I knew we weren't gonna possibly win last year. Like, it just, we're in that growing phase of a lot of young guys that we still need to kind of, get there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think we have a really good team this year. Like, we lost, a couple bullpen guys, a couple starters last year to injury and things like that. But I remember sitting in the Aria Hotel after I got that offer from the Nationals, and then they signed, I think 2 weeks later or something, I think they signed Corbin out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. They came in and signed him. And I said to Scott, I said, they're going to win the World Series. And they looked at me dead in the eye, and they go, no chance. I go, I promise you right now they're going to win the World Series. And I said they were always a pitcher away.
Yeah. You said that earlier. Yeah.
They finally got that pitcher that they were like, and they used it perfectly, man. Like, they used it perfectly in the playoffs. Like, they had the 3 horses, and I knew, like, they were going to score runs. Like, they're a really good team. Like, and so I said that in, I think, January maybe. Whatever day it was after they signed Corbin, I said to Scott, I said, they're going to win the World Series. And he was like, you're crazy. And I kind of, like, mapped it out and stuff like that. He goes, whatever team you go to is going to have a chance. I said, yeah, of course, Scott. Like I want to win. Like, I'm not going to go to a team that doesn't want to win or perform. Like, and of course, every year that I go into it, like, I'm going to try to win a World Series. And I wanted, as a Philly, like, to beat the crap out of them every time I played them, and not let them do that. But, like, as the season went on, you kind of felt that. And I knew if they got into the playoffs and got through that first round, I said to Kayla, I said, if they get into the playoffs and beat Milwaukee, they're going to win the whole thing. And, we were sitting there before the playoffs. I was talking to Cap, and Cap was like, "So who do you think is going to win?" I said, "The Nats." Like, it's not even the question. They have the 1, 2, 3 horse, and Annabelle is absolutely shoving it up everybody's ass right now. Yeah. And he's doing great. He's doing a great job. So, but throughout the whole free agency, I met with Chicago. Had a really good meeting with them. It was always like something where I was like, man, I want to play in Chicago. Like, that'd be fun. But you always talk about Wrigley. Like, you don't really talk about Comerica and, playing in Chicago. But I love that blue collar feel on the south side of Chicago. I know, back in the day when they were really, really good, it was them, the Blackhawks, and kind of like the Bulls weren't really relevant until Jerry kind of went over there from the Sox and got things going. Mm-hmm. And so I was kind of like, man, like, they could be a good team. They got a lot of good arms. They got Kopech. They got Lopez. They got Giolito, 2 guys they got from the Nats for the Eaton trade. So, they have really good pitching. They got Dane Dunning as well, who's a minor league guy who could be in the big leagues this year possibly. So they had a lot of good prospects coming up. Madrigal, I think. Is that his
Yep.
name? Nick
Nick
Madrigal.
Madrigal.
So they had a lot of good guys, and I was like, like, who's going to hit behind me? And I was like, oh, shoot. Big old first baseman's
A
going to hit me.
brave, bud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, that's huge for me because he's very like, just goes about his business, like hits, 280 every year with 25 quietly, and nobody really talks about it. But he's a very good guy to hit behind me. So that was a very, big thing as well. And I was like, man, these people are going to show up because they're blue collar and they want to see their freaking team win again. And, when they were winning, back in the day, that place was sold out completely. So I met with him. I was like, yeah, that was a great meeting. I thought we had a really good meeting. Met with San Fran, thought the same thing. But also my fear with San Fran was all their guys are kind of done. Like Posey was going to be gone possibly, or he was going to move to first base. Like Belt only had like 2 years left, so he was going to be gone possibly. Crawford, where was he going to be? He's a great shortstop. So, I mean, and I wasn't really like –
You're not trying to be in the middle of a rebuild.
You got it.
And I'll say it for you, because as a player who is just testing the waters for the first time, you're looking to pan out your entire life, your career essentially from this point in time, because you have the rare opportunity to do so. The first 3 to 4 years of this contract, you're not looking to commit to a rebuild. And I don't know anybody that is, when you're entertaining that longevity of a career and that sort of financial compensation. You want to win now. You're not interested in trying to be the pillar for the young guys to lean on while we get our ass kicked and drop 80 for 3 years in a row. That's not who
you're not the wily vet looking to pass on knowledge to the younger guys yet. Like, you're looking to maximize your prime years of your career.
Boom.
Exactly. And so, like, I wanted a team that was going to do that as well. And they were going to, invest, and they were going to go out and get the guys that they needed to do, but be smart as well, because you have to understand, like, you can't just trade a star player and, kill all your prospects. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to trade Spencer Howard because we want 2 years of, Chris Bryant. I love Chris. Chris is one of my best friends. Like, he's a great hitter. But, like, if we can't extend Chris after we traded Spencer Howard, then what would be the point? You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to go to an organization that really understood what winning was about, had a lot of veteran guys around as well, if that was Manuel or Boa or, Morandini or all these guys that always come back into camp, with a great, city to play in and things like that. So Philly came in, they came in and I wasn't very excited. I was kind of like, well, like, I played against you guys, and I told them this flat out. I said, we kicked you guys ass for the last couple of years. Like, I don't, like, I told them, like, I mean, I flat out said that to them.
I've been beating your drum for a minute.
Yeah.
And so it was like, I don't see it. Like, it was great and all, but I just, I remember walking away from that meeting, like, I don't know. Like, I think they have a lot of good players. Like, I think they have a great team. I love their fans. I mean, going into that ballpark and knowing that they hate me, I loved it. I absolutely loved it, because they were so blue collar. They wanted you to play hard. So then they came back. We talked again. It went better. It was good. And then at the last second, the Dodgers came in. It's like a 4-year offer with super high AAV with opt-outs. And I got so tired of my whole career in DC, everybody talking about, even after my first year, man, everybody talked about, where is he going? Like, I was a national for 7 years. You know what I'm saying? All I heard was, where is he going? From local media, from national media. Is he going to go to the Yankees? Is he going to go to Boston? Like, every place that I'd go to, it was always like, oh, he's going to come to LA because it's close to home. Like, he's going to go here.
Going to make you a star, baby. Going to make you a star.
But it was always that every single year. And that was so dragging to me, because I'd sit there and go, dude, I don't want to talk about where I'm going. Like, I'm locked in here for 7 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to the freaking Yankees after year 2. Like, it's not possible, like, so, I was so just over that. And when they came in with opt-outs, I was like, the Dodgers, like, I don't want to do that, because, I just don't want the opt-outs. Like, I want a no trade. Like, I want these people knowing that I'm here through the good, the bad. Like, that's it. Like, I want to do this.
I have to tell you that the minute that detail came across the bottom line, no opt-outs, and people are losing their mind, I didn't even blink. I didn't even think twice. I knew that right there, what you just said, was the message you were sending to the fan base. And that was the biggest take-home message that I wanted baseball fans to take away from your career, your effort, the decision-making, free agency, the whole shebang. Take note of that detail right there. You want somebody signing up to go to bat for you every day? Who's got your back every day? Who's in the foxhole waiting for you every day?
100%.
Bryce fucking Harper is. No opt-outs, no fucking avenues to escape.
Everybody knows how Scott is too. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody knows, like, opt out after 3, like, go test the market again. You'll be 29 right before free agency. Like, you can probably get another 10-year deal or whatever it is, especially if you play well. So let's go to a park that, like, you can rake in. I mean, Houston came in with a 1-year offer early with stupid. And I was like, I just looked at Scott. I said, why not? Like, I'll do that. And then I was like, no. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, it was
1 year, 50 mil. I go fucking hitting Houston for 1 year, 50 mil.
100%. Exactly. I'm glad I didn't now, knowing what that would have been really bad. But no, like, I mean, sitting there, it was very known by every single team. And I think they thought I was kind of full of shit because you never have a guy walk in there and go, I want to be here for 13 years and I don't want to leave. And so I think everybody was kind of like thrown off, like, what? Like, you're a Scott Boras client. Like, you want opt-outs. You're a liar. And it's like, no, I don't. Like, that's my big thing. And I said that. I let that be known. Like, I want, you know, 11 to 13 years. Like, I want AAV. Of course, I don't care if it's too high because I want you guys to be able to bring guys in and play on my contract as well. So, like, I'm not going to be making the most AAV because my contract is so spread out so that you guys can bring in those guys mid-season and pay them and go, let's roll. We're going to win. And so you don't see that a lot either in the game today.
Did Scott have to, like, physically slap you across the face?
No, because me and Scott have a really good relationship. So, like, I mean, I've known Scott since I was 14 years old.
Right.
You know, so he's seen me grow. He understands who I am. He understands what I'm all about. Like, so I told him, I mean, I said to him, like, hey, like, this is what it's going to be, Scott. Like, if you don't want to be part of this, like, I'll go somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? I don't care.
I'm
like,
good here.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I want this to be, and he understood that. Like, he knew that from the beginning. Like, yes, like, every meeting that we have is like 6 hours. So I'm sitting there, we're talking, and, you know, at the end of the day, I remember I was very intrigued about playing in Philly because of how hardworking the city was. You know, I came from a very blue-collar family. Like, my dad worked his ass off, man, every single day. Like, he, from 2 o'clock in the morning to, you know, till 12 in the afternoon, and he'd come home, man, and it was like, he'd pick me up from school. Hey, kid, let's go have some fun. Let's go throw the ball. Like, it didn't matter, man. Like, he had, you know, 3 blown discs in his back. He's had 2 knee surgeries on both sides. Like, he's got 9 anchors in here and 11 in this one. Like, this guy is an absolute animal. And he came home every single day, like, working his ass off. And I knew that's what I had to do. Like, I had to do that. Like, that's instilled into me because I saw my family do it. I saw them work their ass off. Like, I saw them do everything every single day to provide for me and my family and my sister and brother. And so when I was going into a city, I knew what these people went through. I understand what they're going through because my dad did it every damn day, bro. And, like, that's what fuels me going out there every single day. Like, I want to play 158 to 162 because those fans worked through their whole week to buy a ticket for a Saturday day game or Saturday night game. And if I'm not playing, that's a slap in the face to them. You know, like, they are the working class city and they are grinding every single day to get by. And if I can make them happy that Saturday or Sunday, that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to work my freaking tail off to do that. You know what I'm saying? So when I was going through it, I was like, what city can do that for me? And I was like, Philly. Not even close. Not even a question. That was scary to me because all I knew was one place for 7 years of my career. And for me personally, this is no disrespect to DC or anything like that. I love Philly. I love those fans. I love the pure emotion the fans and the Philadelphians feel and let out. I mean, you saw it. I mean, when they won the, you know, in 08 and when they were good in 09, and then you saw it with the Super Bowl and the Eagles and them getting there and the way they rallied around Foles and that team. And I mean, the underdog, like, Philly is a city of underdog. Like, it's the hate they feel for other teams. I love it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's Philly or nothing. And I mean, that is something when I met with them, I felt from their owner, from my owner, John Middleton, and his wife as well. Like, John is very, very intense. He's very, he wants to win. He wants what's best for the organization. they're a very family-oriented organization as well. And that was huge for me too, knowing that I had a kid on the way, knowing that, my family was going to be around. I wanted them to respect, my wife and my kid, and I wanted them to respect them as individuals. And there's no better place to be